Good morning, everyone. It's Brenda Quintana here, and it's Tuesday, and it's just about a week until Christmas. And so things are getting real here, and we're getting ready to go up to Canada on Thursday. And so I will talk a little bit more about my plans for the next couple of weeks at the end of this video. But for sure won't be going live the next two Fridays and also next Tuesday because I will not be here. And but I know a lot of you are also doing stuff and will also be super busy. So I will, when I get back, I will start up with my regular schedule again. I'm just going to take a little time off to spend with family, and I'm very much looking forward to it. But today is Casing Tuesday. And that's the day when we take a card out of the catalog and we give it a makeover. So let's take a look and see what today's card is. Isn't that little house super cute? I'm not sure if that bundle is still available, but it's really cute. I decided not to do a Christmas card today, so you'll see my card in a moment. But here is the sketch for the card. And so it's kind of like a 3-panel card, so you could go very easily and do something on each panel, or you can have a scene that goes across all 3 panels. Or I also suggest, if you have trouble with this layout, if you want to work this challenge with us, I would suggest doing a designer series paper, because designer series paper is always like the easy button. You can take those panels and just cut 3 across, and then add a greeting and some embellishments, and you're more than halfway done. So this can be a more challenging challenge, or you can really take it down to the base level. In most cases, there's always an easy way to do the Casing Tuesday challenge, and then there's a harder way, and I did the harder way. So I will show you how I did my card. There's a little trick to my card today. It might look a little like easy to figure out, but I did do something a little different with my card. So let's get rid of these, and I'll show you my card. So here it is, and what I did was I did not want to cut out all of those leaves, and I have them crossing over top of those panels, because these are white panels on wild wheat. So I'm going to show you how I did that without having to stamp all of them, because it's not the stamping part that I mind. I love stamping. It's just cutting out things. And even if this stamp set does not have a die cut to go with it, and even if there were die cuts, sometimes just die cutting a lot is just kind of insane. Stamping to me is a lot easier. It's very satisfying to sit down and stamp a whole scene. So I'm going to show you how to do that, so you're not going to go insane having to cut out so many things. The shapes, though, are pretty easy to cut out. They're not hard at all. I don't think this necessarily needed die cuts for it, because it is so easy, but it's really cute. And then I just stamped a little plant on the inside. It's just very satisfying to sit down and stamp a card. So I'm going to show you how to stamp this card. It is with the Planted Paradise bundle. If you want to join us in the Casing Tuesday challenge and make your own card based on this week's design, just look below in the description of my video, and there is a direct link over onto our Facebook group, and then you can see all the different designers and what they have, what they are posting, and then you can also post your own card on there. It's very good to do this on a weekly basis, because it does challenge your brain. Even if you don't like this this layout, I actually do like this layout. I love layouts with a lot of layers. I like those, but that might not be your thing. I know someone that's almost the opposite of me. When I like something, she doesn't. And so it really helps challenge us to try different layouts And that's going to just expand your repertoire, and it's going to improve your stamping a whole lot. So give it a whirl. Come over to Casing Tuesday, our Facebook group, and post your card. Or if you don't want to post, you want to keep that private, that's fine. You can check out what we've done, and maybe leave some comments for people. That's always very sweet when people do that. Okay, one other thing. I know we're getting closer to, well, we're kind of midway through the month. I also want to put out my host code here. If you are going to be ordering, we do have some things that are coming back into stock, like the Christmas labels dies. I know I have a few customers waiting for those. I have, what else is coming back? The reindeer dies, I think they're called Reindeer Fun. The Merriest Trees dies, those are coming back in. So there's a few things that are coming back in stock. I checked out yesterday, none of them were back in stock. They're actually expected back at the beginning of next week. Sometimes they come in earlier though, so it doesn't hurt to check a few times a week, especially if you're waiting on some of those. So if you're going to be placing an order and you're spending at least $50, please use my host code. It's right here. And this month I am going to be sending out these Riverside Pearls as the gift. They get sent out in January. If you earned a gift from me last month, they should all be in the mail, or you should have received yours. They were sent out, I'm trying to think, they were all sent out last week. The last ones were sent out last week, so at some point you should receive them. Just remember, right now it's Christmas mail time, and even I have not received all of the things, all of my mail, so just keep that in mind. All right, let me pop that away, and let's go to the other camera and make this card. Kind of looking forward to this one. All right, so for this card, I think the best strategy is to start with this big panel first. So I'm going to grab, here is the Planted Paradise stamp set. And I'm also using, this stamp set doesn't have any words, so I'm going to use the Simply Said stamp set for the greeting. And I think I forgot to put this one on my supply list, but if you just search for Simply Said in the store, you should be able to find this. I like these greetings because they are simple, like the title of the stamp set. They are just nice, clean, easy words to put on your cards, because having a word to put on your card really gives you something else to put on it. I like to put on designer series paper, I like to put on a stamped image, I like to put on a greeting, and I like to add embellishments. So those are kind of my ingredients, kind of key ingredients for a card. Okay, we are going to take a piece of, let me just make sure this is the right, feel like this is just a little, it should be almost right. This piece is 5.5 by 3 inches. I think it's a 16th inch wider than this piece, but that's okay. It just needs to be roughly 5.5 by 3 inches. We're going to be stamping, not yet, sorry. We need to stamp some things first before we stamp on there. We're going to stamp this flower pot right here, and this is As Your Afternoon ink. I need to remember how I built this card. Start by stamping that. Okay, and then we're going to grab Gorgeous Grape, and we're going to stamp the other pot. And I said that we weren't going to stamp and cut out the leaves, too many of them. But we do need to stamp and cut out some of them. So I've got 2 colors of green here, and I'm going to stamp this leaf right here in garden green. I'm just going to stamp it right over top here. And we're going to stamp this leaf. Hopefully we'll only need 2. That's my strategy. And this leaf right here, we're going to stamp that one in Granny Apple Green. Right here. All right. Let's grab the paper snips, and we are going to cut these all out. Let's kind of cut them away first so that we are not dealing with such a big piece. Okay, so I'm going to cut on the curve first, and it's just pretty easy because it's a nice curve. These are nice sharp scissors, and I'm cutting all of the weight away. Sometimes with die cuts, you are at the mercy of how the die is done. And if you don't want to edge, you're going to still have to cut it off, because some of our dies have a white edge. I'm going to cut that right to the edge. I'll do the same thing with my purple planter. Just kind of come around here. And cut. These are nice smooth lines to cut. I'm trying to like move my paper rather than kind of turn my scissors. Kind of gives you a smoother cut. Okay, and then we'll cut off the top. The reason we want these pots first is because I'm going to make some marks that are going to help me decide where the leaves are going to go. And then we're going to cut out the leaf. And just remember that most of your leaf is going to be underneath the pot. So you don't have to do like a super stellar job cutting that stem area. Just make sure you've got the top of the leaf the way you want it. And this one. So if I were to do this and if I were to stamp all of these leaves separately and cut all of them, I would be here for a long time, right? So I just want to minimize that. Also, there's different ways that I could do this card, so I wouldn't have to do any cutting at all. But I wanted to keep this layout. I wanted these 3 panels to be represented. So that's why I had to do it this way. Okay, so now we're going to take this 5.5 by 3 inch piece. And what we're going to do is put our pots on here and just kind of decide where you want your pots. And I'm going to leave just a tiny bit underneath on both of them. Take a pencil. Once you've decided where you want yours, I'm going to put a little dot and a little dot, and then I'm going to just draw a line from the dot to the dot, just very light pencil line. And that's going to show me where the top of my pot is. So it's going to help me arrange my leaves. I'm going to do the same thing here. Put a line. And so now I know, I don't know if you can see those, but now I know where I can stamp the leaves, because most of the leaves are going to be stamped right on this piece. Okay, we're going to take garden green first. Also helpful, a little scrap piece of paper. We'll come back in with this long skinny leaf, garden green, and we're going to stamp. I'm trying to decide how high. this way, this way, and do I want it really tall or do I want it short? I think I'm going to do a little taller. Okay, now the leaves that are behind it, I'm not going to mask, but I'm going to stamp off once, and then I'm going to scoot a leaf in between those two to kind of make it look like there's a leaf behind them. But I need to kind of stamp off to kind of create that look. Okay. Then we'll switch colors to Granny Apple Green. And we'll grab the other leaf. And we'll stamp that. I'm trying to decide how tall. Let's do this. And let's do one that's lower. And we'll do this one a little higher. And we'll do this one kind of towards this direction. Okay, so on this one, I'm just stamping 4 leaves, all the same strength. And then we'll see where this leaf will come in and if we need another leaf. On this one, I decided only to do 1, even though I probably could have done 2. So we'll see how all of that comes together. So now, before we add the pots on here, I'm going to cut apart this piece. Let me grab my trimmer. Scoot over here. Grab the trimmer. Okay, so I'm going to cut now through this piece into 3 different panels. So my first panel on this side is going to be 1 5/8. Okay. Then I'm going to take off a 1/4 inch. It's easier for me to do it on this side, so I'm flipping it on this side. Take off a 1/4 inch. That 1/4 inch piece is going into the garbage. I'm going to flip this over here. My next panel is going to be 1 3/4. Slice that. I'm slicing the plants. And then I'm going to turn this and I'm going to take a 1/4 inch off the inside piece. I can just see it better when I do it like this. All right, and then take off a 1/4 inch. So what I should be left with on the end is another 1 5/8 inch piece. Yes, so that's 1 5/8, okay? So the outer 2 panels are 1 5/8 and 1 5/8, and the center one is 1 3/4. And I just am taking off little 1/4 inch slivers, and those are going into the garbage. Now I'm going to take a piece of wild wheat, and this piece measures 5.5 by 3 1/4. And before I do that, I can still see my little pencil lines a bit. So I'm going to come over here and just erase the pencil lines that I can see, get rid of them, and just a little one like that. Okay, so now I'm going to glue these on here, starting with the left side panel. Just take a little glue. If you remember last week how I adhered my panel to the wrong side, trying not to put super amounts of glue just in case I make a mistake here again. But actually last week when I dissected the card, that was kind of cool in some sense because we did manage to get that card apart. Okay, so that's that panel. I'm going to come over here to the other side and do that panel first. That way I can center the final panel in the center. So we'll come down here, just making sure to get it right on the edge. Right now this card does not look like much. I will admit that this card at this point looks a little scary. It does not look like a great card. Actually, I'm happy with the way this card turned out. I almost feel like this is a January card. There's quite a few things that are on the last chance list, and I didn't want to take a chance and choose a product that was going to go out of stock real quick. So I decided to switch to something from the annual catalog. Okay, so now I'm just gonna do that. Okay, so now we're gonna come in. Oh, actually, before we adhere this pot right here, I want to add happy birthday to it, because at this point we just have a plain blue pot, but it's going to be a happy birthday pot. So let me show you how I did that. I have a little piece of basic white that is 3/8 of an inch wide. I'm going to grab the same color as the pot, which is Azure Afternoon. And we'll just take this is the happy birthday from Simply Said. And we'll just center it right on this piece. I believe I cut this strip 3 inches long. It just needs to be long enough so that it goes over top. It hangs over, that's the word I need. Hangs over the edge of the blue pot. Then we're going to just take a bit of glue and put it just a little bit towards the center, not all the way to the edges. Otherwise you're going to get glue on your table. And then you're just going to find the happy place on your pot where happy birthday actually is still on the pot. Okay, there we go. And I played with this. I was trying to figure out where to put this greeting, whether I did it on the side like I did with the, or like the original card. The original card had the greeting up top here. But because my plants are kind of high, I liked putting it right on the pot. And then I just cut off the edges, and now it's a little happy birthday pot. Okay. So let's come in now, and we're going to add our pots. Oh, no, before we do that, keep trying to skip ahead. We will add the pots in a second. See, now it looks better now that I'm covering the gaps. I want to add a leaf back into here to cover up this gap. Now for this one ended up, the way I stamped it, I ended up putting the leaf down here. And actually that would work for this one as well, just as long as I cover the gap. So I can decide, do I want 5 leaves, or I can shift this and just cover up this leaf entirely and do this. I don't know. This or this. I think I'm going to do the 5-leaf one. Yes, we'll do 5-leaf. So I'm just going to take this leaf now. That's a lot of glue. And I just want to make sure I cover up that gap with this leaf that would, you know, be in the center there, right? And then we can put this on there. It seems like I went through a lot of trouble to avoid cutting things out, but I think this is easier than cutting them all out. And also the other thing is arranging them all. It's easier to stamp a pattern for me than it is to like arrange all the cut pieces. That's always takes me a long time compared to just stamping them just down like that into a pattern. So just one leaf needs to be stamped, right? And the same thing for this one. So I've got this one, and now I can take this and I can just add that right there, and that will take care of that leaf that ends up in the little crack area, or the gap, I should say. I'm going to slide that in like that. Okay. And then we can add this pot. And we'll just bring this down here, kind of center it and slide it into place. I'm just leaving a tiny little bit of white showing down below there. Okay, and see, now it actually looks a lot better already. Just having those little things covered, the little gaps covered up, but also the 3 panels in the back does add something to the card. It's not just a plain white panel anymore. It almost looks, to me, it almost looks like there's a window in the background, right? There's a 3-paneled window in the background. Okay, so let's keep going with this. I want to add this to the card, but I also want to add designer series paper. So I could have cut a piece that was 5.5 by 4.25 and added it to the card, but about 3.5 or let me see, 3.25 inches of your card would have been covering all that designer series paper. And so I just cut myself some 1/2 inch strips, 1/2 inch by 5.5, and we're going to glue them to the top and the bottom here, just to save us a little bit of designer series paper. Normally, if more of the designer series paper was showing, I wouldn't have a problem using it behind a layer. But in this case, with these 2 like smaller pieces, it allows me to get more cards from a sheet of designer series paper. So I'm just going to add that there, and I'll add that here up at the top. It kind of looks like there's more. You know, and theoretically, I could have also omitted this back panel here, this wild wheat pattern, because we do have wild wheat in the background here. But for me, it was easier to adhere it to another piece rather than right to the card base. Oh, my card base, I should say, is wild wheat, and it is 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored at the 4.25 inch mark, and then I just folded in half. Sorry, I didn't mention that earlier. Wild wheat is an in color that will be retiring next year. Yes, next year. It sounds like it's a far time away, but it's going to be retiring in spring. And it is one of my favorite colors of that in color collection, because it's like a gold. It looks like it's a gold color without having like the metallic part of it, but it looks golden, and it's kind of, it's a very nice fall color, but it's kind of a natural yellow color. I really like it. I'm kind of sad that it's leaving. So if you like this color like I do, make sure you have all the things you need, like an ink refill, like an extra pack of cardstock, so you can make your investment go further if you already have this color. And if you don't have this color, consider adding it to your collection. It's a great color. Okay, so I've just added that, and now it looks starting to look better already. Okay, now we need to do some little embellishment. So let's grab some of these. These are the Purple Fine Shimmer Gems. And I thought we would just dress up that purple pot with some gems. And I'm going to use, I've been using my Take Your Pick tool more. I don't know why I didn't for the longest time, but okay, let's see. I'm starting to like it more now, especially after last week, after I was able to pry my layer with the heat tool and my little spatula. So I'm using these little purple gems. On the first card, I used the lighter ones, and now I'm using the darker ones because I think my ink pad is going a little dry. I was using it last night, and I think I left it open for too long. I need to re-ink it. But that's okay. It kind of gives the pot a different sort of feel. So I'm okay with not each stamped image coming out exactly identical each time. So now I've got a little sparkle on that pot. Put these away. Some more right here. If you like purple, these are your gems. They are nice shades of different purples. Okay, then I just created a little baker's twine bow from the essentials pack. It has a bunch of 5 different neutral colors: white, black, a gray, and then I think a vanilla and a beigey color. So I'm just going to put a little dot of glue right there, and we'll put my knot right into there. I'm just going to hold this down for a few seconds just so the fibers can get caught in the glue. And then I'm going to pull off and just kind of let that sit there. Let's create, that's the front of the card. That's it. Let's create an inside for the card too while that bow dries. And we're just going to take a piece of basic white cardstock. It doesn't want to focus. This is 5.5 by, let me think, 3 3/4. 5.5 by 3 3/4. We're going to take these 2 leaves. We'll take the blue pot. This is a different pot than the one I used on the front, but I quite like it. And we'll just kind of stamp it down in the corner. This is just going to be a super simple, quick thing you can add to the inside of the card. It's going to take about a minute. Oh, my focus is going crazy. Come on. Why are we not focusing in? There we go. Okay, sorry that. Today my autofocus, let's see. Let me bring it out a bit, see if it will stop zooming in and out. Okay, so we're gonna just ink up. This is a different leaf too. This is Granny Apple Green, and I'm just gonna kind of come down and get kind of close to the edge there. That's all we're gonna do to finish off the inside. And that just kind of brings back, kind of, you know, matches the front of the card a little bit. And we've got a lot of that wild wheat color on the inside. So this will just add to the card. Just putting glue on the outside this time. And we'll just slide this in. Come on, I want you centered. Okay. All right. And that's all there is to the card. Just a sweet little birthday card. And I think I have a lot of January birthdays, so I have to start making some cards for upcoming birthdays. I think birthday cards is the thing, besides thank you cards, is the thing that I make the most of. And little extra piece of cardstock there. And so it's nice to work ahead and create some birthday cards. I love how we kind of did a little trick with the stamping of the leaves so that I didn't have to stamp 10 leaves and cut them all out. I only had to stamp 2 of the leaves, and still it works out really nicely. And I've got that look of the panel in the background. So I hope you'll give that a little try. If you ever have another little cluster of things, you might be able to do something similar compared to what I did. Or if you want to copy my card, I'd be very flattered, and please go ahead and do that. All right, I am going to come back over to all of you. So thank you if you've made it this far. Thank you for stopping by my channel. And if you're not already a subscriber, I would love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I am getting close to 25,000 subscribers. Well, not that close, but I'm getting closer. I'm over 24,000. I think I'm at 24,300. So my goal is to get to 25,000 sometime next year, because it's going to take, I think, a little longer than I only have half a month left of a year. So my goal is to keep building my channel. So if you aren't already subscribed, I would love it if you did. Give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. I appreciate all of those so much. And that just helps me be able to do what I do on a weekly basis. And so I appreciate all of that. Okay, I want to say hello to all of you. Let's go ahead and start from the very beginning. Good morning, Valerie from Illinois, and Deborah from Virginia, and Marty from Pittsburgh. And she says, don't forget to give Brenda some thumbs up. Oh, you know what I can do? I did get a little backlogged. I have some belated, I had some birthday cards that arrived after my birthday, Thanksgiving card, have a couple, I think, of Christmas cards to share with you. So I'm going to grab my pile. It's behind me. Let's do that real quick too. And I have swap cards too, which I won't do this time. My team did a Christmas swap, but I am missing one person's card, and it's not because she didn't send them out. They did arrive to other people, just not me. So I'm kind of waiting to see if it's going to come through with a Christmas rush. Okay, first of all, let's do my birthday cards, because I think my birthday was before Thanksgiving this year. So let's just... I kind of had a rubber band around them. This is one of a birthday card that one of my team members sent me. Her name is Demi. She's very talented. Let me see if I can. I'll open this up here. So this is, I don't know if I did one of these cards. That's how bad my memory is these days, but it's, what is this card called? I don't even remember. But it's a cool card with the little panels. I think I did like a thank you card like this, but this one's the 4-panel one, which is kind of cool. So that was a very cool birthday card from Demi. And then this is a card from a team member as well. This one is from Alicia. It's a very sweet card. And that's the way it comes together. I love that paper. Isn't that pretty paper? It's beautiful. And it's kind of a different fold too. Like it just having the center fold and then have like a panel at the front. That's a nice, easy, fancy fold. And then this one is from another team member, from Kristen. Isn't that beautiful? The roses, just gorgeous. Oh, and I love, I'm just going to hide this in case she doesn't want to see, but I love that she put the year on the back so that you know what year you got this card. Because if you save your cards, then you want to enjoy that. So, very cool. And this card is from another team member, from Amy. Very beautiful card. Look at that gorgeous paper down there at the bottom. It's so pretty. I just kind of peek at the card to see if there's anything on the inside that I don't want to show anything that's personal, right? But I love the way she did. I'm just gonna show you this part. She kind of did like a swoosh down with the paper. I love that. Okay. And then this card is from another team member. Just kind of opens up like this, from Chris. Very cool. I was talking to I went out for dinner with my husband and some of the people that work with him. And we were talking about cultural differences. And this one person was saying that she was with a whole bunch of different people, and one person was from Germany, and normally the practice was to open up all the gifts right in front of everyone, but the German wasn't opening up her gifts, and people would say, hey, why don't you want to open up your gifts? And she didn't realize that her cultural difference, and maybe this isn't all Germans, but it was to open them up in private. And so like everyone has their own little sensibilities about, different cultural differences, different family differences. So sometimes I feel like a little awkward because I'm actually, my heritage, my parents were German, and I do have that kind of private thing going on. So I'm always kind of like unsure of myself. But anyway, I just thought that was interesting. And then this is a beautiful card from another team member. And this is from Karen. Wait a minute. I hope it's from Karen. Nope, it's from Mary. Sorry. This one's from Mary. I have on her return address, it didn't have her name, so sorry. This one's from Mary, and it just kind of opens up like this. It's very cool. And then it ties on the side over here, on the side. So that's very nice. Okay, and then I have a Thanksgiving card. This one's from my friend Janet, and she always sends me beautiful cards for all the holidays, and I think that's just so sweet. And she doesn't use, she uses some Stampin' Up! Stuff, but in this case, I think she used the cardstock, but the stamps and the greeting are not. But she always comes up with the most beautiful arrangements for cards. I love her clean and simple style. So thanks for that Thanksgiving card. And then I received some homemade, or not homemade, handmade Christmas cards as well. And I'm sure I will have a few more to share later on, but that will be after the holidays because I'll get them in the mail. This one is from my team member Marge. Isn't that gorgeous and so sweet? And look at the inside. She just did such a nice job even with the inside. Okay, and then this one is from a follower of mine, Linda Johnson. Isn't this beautiful? I just love this. And look at the inside. This little piece right here kind of comes out, and the little bird. It's so sweet. Now this paper I think was on the low or out of stock, but it is coming back in stock, and I just love it. And this Christmas labels is also coming back in stock, but the paper is carrying over and this Christmas labels is not. And if you haven't already gotten Christmas labels, it is just, I love Christmas labels. They are just the little die cut labels have all these little cuts into them, and it's such a nice label without a lot of work, and there's a lot of sweet little greetings in that bundle. So Linda, you did a beautiful job. And then this one is from Janet again, who sent the Thanksgiving card. Isn't that beautiful and just so clean and simple? This one is not Stampin' Up! Products, but just gorgeous. I love the sparkle paper too. And this one is from a friend in town. Her name is Tina, and I appreciate your card so much too. And she did hand make it, so I love that. So thanks to everyone who sent me cards. I appreciate them so much. And sorry I got so behind. I had a whole stack that I had to kind of sort through and organize. And I do have swap cards to share with you. I'm just missing one, so I don't want to leave anyone out if possible. But I'll see. This time of year, things just do tend to either get stuck in the mail or lost in the mail. I don't know what happened, but I am holding out hope that I'm still going to get her card. Okay, I have totally gone off topic. I was saying hello to all of you. So I got to Deborah, I got to Marty, and I don't know if I said, she reminds all of you to give me a thumbs up, which is very sweet. Hello, Vera Blue from Missouri. Hello, Mary, and she wishes everyone happy holidays. Hello, Lois, and she also wishes everyone happy holidays. And hello to Nancy. Marty gave the item number of the Simply Said stamp set, so thank you for that. Hello, Joan, and hello, Cindy from Everett, Washington. And she's baking fruitcake cookies. Oh, yummy. You know what I make fruitcake cookies with leftover. I haven't made it yet, but there's a Chilean Christmas bread that I make. And anything that I have left over, I use up and I make something with it. So it doesn't last another year because I want to use up everything. So I will be making those later. I probably will be making the Chilean Christmas bread in January because we are going up to my parents-in-law, and I know they also make the same bread, and so I didn't want to compete with my mother-in-law, so I'm not going to do mine until maybe for Valentine's Day. It will be fun. My husband loves it no matter what time of the year, but I bought all the ingredients, so I'm going to make it later. All right, that sounds like fun. Fruit cake cookies. Marty says, she says she thinks having a mix of stamped and fussy cut images adds interest. It does. It adds a little bit of layers, and it also covers the little gap, right? Hello, Diana from North Carolina. Glad you're here. Hi, Jody. She's watching from Facebook, so sorry that there's not as many people on the Facebook, where most of us are over on, I shouldn't say us, most people are over on YouTube. I'm going live from eCam. I'm on neither site, but I can see the comments from both ends. Jody says she loves this card, as I do with all your projects. Thank you. And she says, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Enjoy your time with your family. Thank you. Cindy says she loves both cards. And she says Marty says she likes that the inside panel goes edge to edge like the ones on the outside. Yeah, like I purposefully, when I was doing this, I decided to kind of match. I'm a little matchy, but I did try and do it right from edge to edge to kind of give it the same look as the outside of the card. You are so observant. Mary says, Happy Holidays to all. And she says she loves the way it came out. Couldn't figure out how you did the stamping. It's very cool. Well, thank you. Just a little different take on things, not anything mind-blowing, but it's, just a different way to do it without having to cut out all of the leaves. We still have to stamp all of them. Marty says, beautiful cards. I enjoyed so much getting all of those cards in the mail, and now I can hang them up. Now I can hang up my Christmas cards on my little thing in the kitchen. What I do is I take dental floss and thumbtacks. Dental floss works really well if you have light colored walls and you want it to kind of be kind of thin and a little bit invisible because it's not that thick. And so I just string it between two thumbtacks, and then I have some little, they're kind of like binder clips, but not quite like binder clips. They're like little clips, and I just clip on my cards onto the dental floss. It's my little trick to having string when you don't have the right kind of string. So anyway, I'll hang those up later. So I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. I know Hanukkah's coming up too, so happy Hanukkah to all of you who celebrate that. Or if I haven't captured all the holidays, happy holidays to you. And even if you're not celebrating a particular holiday, I hope you get to spend some time with friends and family, because most of us do have some time off over this season. So hopefully you'll get to spend it with some family and friends, and at least maybe take off a little you time for you. So on that note, so I don't have anything planned to drop while I'm gone. But if I do manage to get something done, I will just drop it on the regular days. But as of right now, I really push to get all my mail out this weekend, and so I don't think I'm going to have time to get that done. So I'm just going to enjoy the holidays with my family, and I hope you do too. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.